What's up, super fans? What a week to be a fan of all of the coolest nerdum stuff out there. We had The Witcher, we have Hawkeye, we have No Way Home, and now we have the season finale of Hawkeye. But did it live up to its expectations? Let's talk about the big man. We are doing a 50k subscriber giveaway for the Nano Iron Man Gauntlet, fully loaded with the Infinity Stones and LED lights. Simply hit the subscribe button, comment below, and like this video. Now, of course, in order to talk about the season finale of Hawkeye episode 6, we are going to have to talk about spoilers, and we actually will have to talk about a couple of the spoilers from No Way Home. There is a smidget of a connection between the two. Making his MCU debut, Vincent D'Onofrio is back as the Kingpin. The very first scene is seeing him in his iconic comic book accurate, well, almost comic book accurate, purple pants and white suit Kingpin with the cane that has the diamond on it. Now, I do have a couple of theories on the cane that Kingpin has. The only thing that comes to mind is that this takes place literally after the whole turmoil that has happened in the Daredevil show. And given that Matt Murdock is officially also in the MCU from No Way Home, and the week after the release, we have Vincent D'Onofrio back as the Kingpin, could mean that he is jacked up or possibly really injured from his fight with Daredevil. The MCU is literally going from like 0 to 100 miles an hour in the same week. And not only do we get the comic accurate Kingpin, we also get another comic accurate Kingpin, which is from the family business storyline, where we get Hawaiian shirt Kingpin sitting down in a meeting talking to Eleanor, while Eleanor is officially done working with him. Kate Bishop's father was in very deep with the Kingpin, and after the death of Kate Bishop's father during the battle in New York, Eleanor still had to pay off these debts to the Kingpin. Now, even though we didn't get the whole revelation that she is Madame Mask, in a way, she is technically still a villain of sorts because she is actually the one that's behind the murder of Armand. So in a Disney-fi type of way, she is still Madame Mask, but just as I worried, it is a little bit watered down. Is it totally lame? No. Was it still awesome to see a comic accurate representation of the Kingpin with this actor? He has already pretty much defined this character, and I do love Vincent's portrayal of the Kingpin. So it wasn't completely lame, and we've already seen all of the, really brutal Kingpin, and we still see him kick some serious ass between the big man and Kate Bishop. And then finally, after 6 episodes, Hawkeye finally caved in and admitted to saying that Kate Bishop is officially his partner. While at the same time, we have Maya Lopez dealing with the truth of who really killed her father, and just like in the comics, they are really looking at the comic book sources and putting it all into play in this series, which I'm truly loving, because in the comics, it is Kingpin that was the reason why her father was killed in the first place. Now, while Clint and Kate Bishop are making the arrows, showing a bunch of the cool comic book type arrows, including the usage of the Pym particles in his arrows, between the shrinking and enlarging we've seen throughout this series, which is totally awesome in the comics, so it's pretty cool to see it in live action. It's at this moment when Kate Bishop states her reasoning and why Clint is such a motivation to her, that being a hero isn't just for people who can fly or shoot lasers out of their hands, but it's for anyone who's brave enough to do what's right no matter the cost. And after she finishes saying this to Hawkeye, you can see a smirk or a smile on Hawkeye's face, and it's really this moment that he actually just really needed, almost like he came to the realization that everything he's done wasn't for nothing. And the Hawkeye is pretty damn badass. I mean, when Kate put it this way, I kind of became more of a Hawkeye fan because it is freaking true. The dude has no superpowers whatsoever. He doesn't even have loads of money either, which I still count as a big superpower. And he was out there with a freaking bow and arrow fighting aliens. And of course we get the awesome LARPers returning and giving the LARPers their own moment to really actually make a difference. Now, given that they are all first responders and should know how to deal with all of these emergencies, I'm still a little bit confused why they acted the way they acted, because they're first responders. They're trained professionals to deal with circumstances like this. So I feel like this was a little bit lame, and the watering down of things to give it more of a humorous edge onto, series like this when they should be a little bit more serious and more darker. I think that too much humor within this show was unnecessary. Don't get me wrong, I very much enjoyed the show, and I think this show is freaking amazing. And I think this episode is actually one of my favorite episodes, because I actually watched it about 3 times, and I was starting to watch it again. It has the repeat rewatchability, and the more I saw it, the more I actually enjoyed it. Although I do feel that Jack's character was a little bit underutilized and kind of tossed to the side. Although they gave him his moments and showed his sword mastery, and Jack's character serves more of the comic relief than anything else. And I really enjoyed the dynamic between Kate Bishop and Yelena and their mini fight scene, which basically their whole fight was just a warm-up for Yelena against Clint. And then we finally get the full out one-on-one fight scene between Clint and Yelena, both of them actually needing this battle amongst each other and get some closure over the loss of Nat and to be able to move on. Now, I'll admit that the fight scene wasn't exactly the best, and I wish they would have choreographed a little bit better, because these are literally the best of the best when it comes to what they do. The fight scene should have been like almost John Wick style, but I definitely called it when I said that Yelena was obviously not going to kill Clint and miss her target, just like Hawkeye did for Natasha. And no need to worry, because I saw the internet kind of being upset about killing off the Kingpin. In the comics, this is exactly what happens, is that Maya Lopez confronts the Kingpin about the death of her father and shoots him. But no need to worry, the Kingpin is most likely not dead. If he is, damn, that is gonna be lame if they do kill him off this way. But if they go like they do in the comics, she does confront him, she does shoot him, but he only goes temporarily blind. He does not die. If they are going to use certain storylines from the comics, which obviously they are, I mean, he's wearing the freaking Hawaiian shirt from Family Business, then we will see the Kingpin once again later on, possibly against Spider-Man, which would be super dope. This episode really does serve as a type of closure towards the characters for Yelena or Hawkeye or even Kate Bishop, and finding out the truth about her mother being a villain. I still think she's going to turn out to be Madame Mask if they go into a second season. If they go into the second season, they have to go full out with Madame Mask. And even possibly showing Clint's wife back in action, because we finally find out who the mystery owner of the watch that has been floating around throughout the season actually belongs to, and it belongs to his wife. And on the back it says 19 with the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, which is hinting at that she is Agent 19, which in the comics is the Mockingbird. So when the kids were alone and Clint's out doing missions, don't worry, those kids are quite fine. The Mockingbird is very capable of whooping anybody's ass if they ever come to threaten his family. And I did love that last scene when Clint and Kate are burning the suit in the barbecue, because this is the exact moment that they are completely closing the whole story arc of anything Ronin, ending the entire era of the Ronin character. And unlike the comics, where it was actually Maya Lopez to be the first one to don the Ronin name, followed by Clint, Alexei, Eric Brooks, and even Bullseye. In the MCU, we only have 3 main people that have ever donned the Ronin outfit. Clint being the first, Kate being the second, and my man Grills being the third. Yes, I'm counting Grills. He wore it, he LARPed in it, he fought and defeated Hawkeye in a LARPing match, so he is officially the third Ronin in the MCU. And even though throughout the web it had a bit of a lackluster to it as a season finale for this show, that's simply not true. And after watching it 3 times, literally, I saw this episode 3 times already, actually kind of Spider-Man No Way Home's fault, because we literally just saw Spider-Man No Way Home, which is quite frankly the best Marvel movie ever freaking made, with bringing back characters that we never thought would ever be on the screen at the same time, breaking box office records and all of this hype. And then you go and watch a series, the leveling is a little bit different, and the expectations kind of made it a little bit higher for a series finale for Hawkeye. But when you really put it in perspective that we just saw No Way Home and then we see the series, I could see why people are kind of saying it's a little bit lame, and it's not. It really wasn't. The season finale actually did it justice. We did see some cool comic accurate stuff. So, hey, it was actually really good. But I admit, don't watch it right after watching No Way Home if you are watching No Way Home anytime soon, because it does make it feel a little bit different. Remember, this is a TV show, and No Way Home is a whole level of its own. There you have it, superfans. That is the breakdown for Hawkeye. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you excited that the Netflix characters are flowing into the MCU? This is freaking awesome. We still have Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. I don't know about Iron Fist, but Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, they are probably going to come back at some point in time in the MCU. It is an exciting ass time to be a fan. We are doing a 50K subscriber giveaway for the Nano Iron Man gauntlet, fully loaded with the Infinity Stones and LED lights. Simply hit the subscribe button, comment below, and like this video. As always, superfans, if you want to show some support for our channel, check out our official merch, or want to get some cool collectibles and apparel, I placed all the links in the description below. Until next, superfans, this is Fit Nerd, over and out.